Hello everyone, and welcome to Century Review Spring 2020 virtual reading. Since we unfortunately couldn't meet and celebrate together like we usually do, we decided to do a YouTube reading so that our artists could get the praise they deserve for their amazing work, and all the viewers out there, that's you, could be able to watch and rewatch from the safety of your homes. Now, we don't have videos from every artist, but we have most of them. To read the entire issue with all of the artists, check out our website in the link below. Without further ado, here's my editor's note. Dear readers, last semester when my team and I sat down to choose the theme for the spring 2020 issue, we thought the Reemerging 20s would be perfect. We expected the turn of the decade to inspire creators with its possibilities for fresh hope, new starts, and unwritten chapters. We were thinking more flapper dresses and faux fur stoles instead of face masks and plastic gloves, but I guess 2020 had a bit of a different idea. We are currently living through the moments that will be written about in history books. While all the political strife and governmental highs and lows will definitely be recorded, studied, dissected, just like the AIDS pandemic, the flu pandemic, or any of the 6 cholera pandemics, I can't help but wonder how the feeling of this moment will be translated to future generations. Will they know how bored we were? Will they know all that we missed out on? Will they know that we weren't okay? At Century Review, we pride ourselves on being an outlet for students during all times, good, bad, and quarantined. So the decision to extend our deadline was a no-brainer, and I'm so happy we did. I always knew how powerful the arts were, but reading all the submissions solidified that fact in a new way. Art expresses things that can't be materialized in a history book. Art can and will translate unspeakable feelings through time and space, and if you don't believe me, just read this issue. This is my last year at CMU, and my last semester with Century Review. Of all the ways I plan to celebrate my ending to such a beautiful time in my life, this was not even close to one of them. With tears in my eyes, I am leaving Century Review in the most capable and talented hands, even if it's not how I wanted to leave. Though our expectations of 2020 didn't go as planned, it's important to remember that this is not wasted time. Use these months as an opportunity to explore your passions, practice self-care, and write, paint, sing, or dance to your heart's content. Art will never be dictated by its space. It can happen anywhere. All that's left to say is stay inspired, stay safe, and stay inside. Sincerely, Ivory Fields, Century Review.
Can you see it? Us, standing among the corn pasture, weighting our heads to the sound of the wind and the taste of the rain. Swollen, our bodies fully enlightened between that of the burning blue sky and the sickening soil flattening beneath our feet. It is here, among the corn, that we meet, away and lay against its grass and its hay, looking to one another as if the satanic, never-changing, pixelated curtain of our lives has been lifted, and we can finally see each other for who we are, what we are made of, and who we once were. It is here, among the corn, between the shuddering stalks and pierced, bleeding fingertips, that we are nothing more than children. Bare, pure, and completely oblivious to the filth, picking away at our toes, pulling up on our nightgowns, and unbuttoning our pants. It is here, among the corn pasture, that together, naked and innocent, that we allow our young to become fully submerged within the pixelated curtain, never to be seen the same again. It is here, among the corn pasture, that we lay willing, yet mortified as to what has happened, but staggered as to what is yet to come, for now and all eternity.
The last house on Main Street isn't even a house. It used to be a gas station and lawnmower repair shop my grandfather built for himself, where my mom wasn't allowed. Being named after a boy wasn't enough. She had to watch the phone. The perfect job for a lady. I complained about the lack of grass and a junkyard of rust, sprouting history from the ground in the form of railroad mile markers, and was told I should be happy with the black walnut tree dropping free protein. Besides, no one was making me shoot raccoons for my dinner. I said I would never shoot an animal, especially one that washes its hands. Grandpa said, Wait till you have 3 hungry mouths and no welfare benefits, because God does everything for a reason, even when giving a track star polio.
What do you see, Father? Do you see the demons swindle me with lurching arms, smothering me with poignant wisdoms? Do they jest with grins stretched wide as they take turns chewing my bottom lip? Are you anxious as their honeyed tongues scrape my flesh, or how their fingers rifle through my golden curls, taut the blessed threads in the tangled nests? Do your eyes search for the virgin as they coax my thighs, cooing me to an unholy epiphany? Are you terrified that I moan instead of scream? Do the incessant recitations touted through beads and booklets catch me as I slip through God's fingers? Are the angels chanting my sins in your head? Do they flay your failures on your back? Do they mock you with their soft chuckles, the phantom wings stinging your cheek as you beg God for my deliverance? Are you terrified that your lamb lost her way? Or do you still lament your sorrows in litanies, impervious to the truth? I do it in spite of you.
How do I tell them that I am the entire Pacific Ocean's worth of waves crashing against the California shore? With me, I move plastic and pike, surfers and sharks. And Michelangelo's right pinky, I carve eyelids and nostrils from muscle memory. I guide the peach-colored brush strokes of naked skin onto ceilings and walls blessed by God. Am an antique, an oak and wood table standing chipped and wobbly and 80 years strong. Memories live in me. I know what it is to have passed through time. How do I tell them that, while I am a calf's timid, brave first steps, a candle dripping wax onto white linoleum, a steel-string guitar, and a photo of your mother in her youth, I am also a daughter of religious parents, an amateur tie-dyer, a week-old vase of roses, a beggar, a wannabe, a scholar, a poet, a dreamer. How do I tell them that I too am woman?
When I left the womb and welcomed the world, silent and purple, sick, the smack of a basketball to the face, the crack of concrete against the skull, my mother breathing life back into my lungs on the wooden kitchen table. Crossing fences and scaling rocks by Niagara Falls like mountain goats. A shrill Avery Sioux snatches my ankles, bulges my eyes, and burns my face until an inward force pulls me off the edge towards safety. When the car, full of teenage boys, sweaty with summer heaviness, slows its roll, and the strange elusive creatures stare with eyes on fire, lips curled with intention, they dribble out sticky salutations and questions of destinations. I smile all the way home until she tells me my heart should thump, not flutter. I am a timepiece made with cogs that made the woman before me. I time myself as I giggle my way past signs that say do not enter. The clock stands still as I watch myself fall downstairs, run my toe over chairs. The bells clang and the hands tick as I shrink into large crowds and dim rooms. I am not what I expected, yet I am everything I hope to be. My surface, shining and scarred, shows what I've seen after all this time. I am fractals of feminine fear, aged alongside an internal mechanism unshaken by decades of different villains. Some with gnawing teeth, some with bills and scriptures, and still I am bubbling with curious intrusiveness. Trudging along the earth's body, she reaches her arms past an extended belly, wrapping me in warmth until the only thing that smothers me is the sickness within her.
Dear Ma, you don't have to reply. I know the house will be cold. I know you told me 1,000 times how to work the thermostat. Set program, select temp, hold, or something like that. Regardless, I delight in the cold now. It retells me of all the times you scolded me to make my bed. I never liked how icy the sheets got whenever my bed was made, but I always apologized anyway. Arriving at our outdated ranch house, I drift through the garage. I avoid eye contact with our fishing gear, neglected by a retrograde movement of time, reflecting the broken promise I made to always be your baby moose. I'm sorry. I didn't know it would be so hard to keep. Memories begin to rise like trout as I slip inside. I refuse to catch any because we always fished together. You taught me how to fish. I step over the illiterate welcome mat I made for your 48th birthday 9 years ago. You placed it without thought below the front door, right before the kitchen. It's now seasoned with seasons, a touch of mud, a hint of ochre leaves, and a snowflake or two to taste. You taught me how to cook. I passed by your bedroom. Your bed is made and has been since you started using the hospitals. I want to jump in it and snuggle with your shadow, but there's something I have to do first. With eyes overcast, I stagger into my bedroom, and while I finish making my bed,
It's just the flu. We'll be fine. Remember swine flu? Remember Ebola? It'll be just like that. People weren't washing their hands before this, but I bought 20 packs of toilet paper. I'm good for whatever. They can't cancel class. They can't take my life away from me like this. I can't make this transition. Classes have been canceled, and I just lost my job. So many people are dead, and life as we know it has been canceled indefinitely. Are we taking this too seriously? Are we not taking this seriously enough? I'm young. I'll be fine. But every time I cough, I wonder, am I going to die? Surely enough, if the virus doesn't kill me, my mental health will. I've been socially distant my whole life, so why is this so hard for people? I need to go to work to stay alive. I need to see my friends to stay alive. But we need to stay inside to stay alive. I will never take my friends for granted ever again. I will never take seeing strangers in public for granted ever again. I will never take my freedom for granted ever again. They tell us we'll be fine if we stay home, stay safe, but I'm going insane in here. Help! How we're going about things nowadays has changed. We're moving online. We have no choice. Only leave your home for essentials. What constitutes an essential? Everything is closed. There's nowhere to go anyway. How long will this last? Who knows? Who could know? How long until things go back to normal? Things will never go back to normal. Things will never be the same again. But we'll be fine.
You're sitting in front of your apartment leaning on the coffee table. Your roommate took the couch when she moved to Los Angeles last week. You asked her, "What, are you going to buy her to row on the plane?" She said it was her parents' old couch, and they were going to give it to her younger brother when he starts college. You tell her you're glad that they're so concerned about giving him a comfy place to get laid, and she doesn't text you back. And so you're sitting on the floor of your apartment, scrolling through Instagram. You've fallen into a hole of dog videos, and you found yourself double tapping on each wiggly corgi butt and singing husky. You look around your quiet kitchen and down the dark hallway, and a bright thought jumps into your head. You should really get a dog. You imagine strolling down the aisles of PetSmart, filling a cart with a wonky front wheel that keeps swerving to the left, with low-cal training treats and chew toys. You pick up a tiny puppy puffer jacket and wonder, will she need this? Yeah, yes, of course she will. And you're imagining your Instagram full of stills of her running through the January snow, and you toss it into the cart. And then you imagine your ex-boyfriend's best friend who's still following you for whatever reason, commenting that you don't need to put a coat on your dog. They used to be wolves, for fuck's sake. And you take it back out. Then the employee at the end of the aisle in the ill-fitting blue vest smiles at you kindly, and you throw it back in. You imagine bringing her home in a tattered blanket and showing her to her baby pink bed for the first time. You think it would be so cute if she woke you up in the morning with happy kisses. You dream about the Halloween costumes, watching Modern Family on winter weeknights, chasing her down the hall to take back your missing sock. Yeah, a dog would be really good for you. You could be more active, less lonely. You'll go to the dog park, meet people, be outside. Maybe a cute guy with wind-rustled hair will get his goofy lab mix's leash tangled up in yours. He will cutely apologize, and you will laugh and sweep the hair from your forehead with your finger, and he will ask your name, and you will tell him, and he'll say, "Ah, how beautiful." When your dogs are untangled, he'll pull out his phone and ask you to put your info in it for, play dates and stuff. And so you see him there tomorrow, and the day after, and the next week. And the dogs, they'll play so nicely together. Maybe they'll play so well together that they won't notice when you slip in behind a urine-soaked tree and let him feel you up. And then he'll come over, and he'll bring his lab mix, and your dogs will be so happy to see each other. And you'll close the bedroom door quietly, and they won't start scratching at it for 20 minutes, which is about all you can ask from them. And so things are pretty good for a while, until your dog park boyfriend tells you that he has to go back home to Detroit to take care of his sick dad. You really don't like that, because things are just getting good now. He's been leaving you sweet drawings of your dog on the kitchen counter when he has to go to work early, and you guys just started rewatching the old Power Rangers TV show that you grew up with, and who else did that with you since your brother died? You ask him, what, they don't have nursing homes in Detroit? And his face gets all red and he closes his eyes for a long time and says he's sorry, which makes it so much harder for you to watch him grab his coat and close the apartment door so gently that your dog doesn't even wake up from her nap on the couch. You wished he would have started a big loud fight with you and slammed the door so hard that the pictures would fall off the wall. Your dog would wake up and bark her head off and you'd say, "That's right, girl, what a dickhead." And you sink down on the couch that your ex-dog park boyfriend helped you pick out next to your dog, and you stroke her soft ears as the tears burn down your face. You ask her if she's going to miss his lab mix. She watches you with half-open eyelids.
Grass gushes through the forbidden valley, rich with sensation. Weeds are cracks of chaos that ebb and flow frantically to scuttle above the lush crust of life. I watch a dim and disinterested light travel down a dusty path. A lamp swings through darkness, ablaze like 1,000 fireworks, and honeycombs the valves of magnetic shards scattered carelessly across the poisoned sky. Moments sprout forwards in fury to steal their purpose from the sterile dirt. I am mesmerized as buds burst into bloom underneath the glow and rise to kiss the space above with gleaming faces. Stamens graze against the flare like moths drawn to headlights. Scorched leaves furl inwards as the emerald pigments shift to a crusted and murky brown. Stumps of once promising stems wither into barren stalks. With its seed completed, the lamp recedes from the patch. I survey the aftermath of crushed lotus petals and wrinkled dove feathers, waiting for the cycle to start anew.
Maybe, if I try hard enough, I can find myself at the very edge of your being. Maybe, if I somehow find the courage within the pit of my bluster-stricken stomach, you'll allow me to accompany the waves that constantly grow from within you. Maybe, do you think, when pieces of you curl from newfound height, it's as close as we will ever feel to one another? Maybe, the two of us can never inhabit the same space, only touch on the border of you and of I. Maybe we could never collide in the way that my soul yearns to. But maybe, just maybe, the frivolous meeting of my cold air to your ever-disappearing waves is enough to never make us want to catch our breaths again. So maybe you're the sea, and maybe I'm the wind, and maybe that's okay.
We watch as the pale yellow sun dips towards the horizon, a snow-covered white hellscape that mocks the vibrance and viridescence this place once held. The world falls beneath shadow as the sun vanishes from view in a moment almost apocalyptic, the dying day's light clinging to its final moments of life on soft, wispy edges of ash-colored clouds. And with the day gone, a calming, deep infinite takes dominion over the skies above, the first speckles of starlight peering through, and our minds emptied as they begin to fill with the wonder and peace and warmth of night.
It's March 27th, 2019. I am walking through the campus of Central Michigan University. As I pace down the sidewalk, I am captured by the golden sunset plunging towards the horizon. I never knew how much I loved sunsets, the flickering energy of the day being sucked out like a magnetic force, returning to the mothership, the picturesque colors that splatter nature's canvas. Seeing the beautiful display washes away all worries and stresses, like a late spring rain sprinkling a freshly sprouted wildflower. It taps into something deeper, a basic human hardwiring that absorbs the wonder of nature, like a sponge, and uses it for nourishment. I never knew how much I loved the trees. Their massive trunks tower over me, like a guardian of the earth. When a cool breeze blows through their branches, it's nature's communication to man. A primal portal that signals the collaboration of the life on earth. Their sap, their bark, a window into summers past, laden with the smell of thick bonfires and sticky heat. I never knew how much I loved buildings, the architecture from the simplest shacks to the most intricate modern marvels, all littered with the fingerprints of the history of man, a testament to the innovation of the human race, a shelter from the violent outbursts of nature, a tower, a house, a home. I never knew how much I loved the variety of life, so many hues of freedom, fashion, sports, movies, education, career field. At every intersection of life there are infinite choices, like an endless valley lush with a rainbow of vegetation. Occasionally, a bad flower may be picked. There may be a desire to rescind the plant, give it back. But it is final, permanent, unable to be reintegrated into the sea of flowers. Time will eventually disintegrate the foul flower, and its dust will be lost in the sweet motion of the wind.
Thank you all so much for watching the Central Review Spring 2020 virtual reading. I hope these pieces inspired you and warmed your heart just as much as they warmed mine. I would like to thank all my editors, Deja Love, Jadil Wingard, Madison Topolinsky, Caroline Carpenter, Jenna Lisnich, Alyssa Elms, Paige Dombrowski, Tori Myers, Brandon Strickland, Edwin Williamson, Kelsey Light, and Kelly Frazier for all their hard work and help in putting together this issue. I would also like to give a big thanks to all of our friends at CM Life, but especially Dave Clark and Don Payne for all they did to make this semester's virtual issue even possible. I hope you and your loved ones are all safe and well. Stay creative.